certainly one of the litmus tests, or the places where we're running into questions around, multiple voices, reading the text, the postmodern shift and all that is around gender issues, around same-sex attraction, around all of that in the life of the church. And we've been talking about it since, I guess, 1986 when we had our first statements, and we're talking about it, however many years, 35 years later, we're still talking about it because we haven't figured out, because it's such a fundamental, basic thing for us. But my sense is the trend is for younger adults to pay less attention to those questions than my generation has been. That the next 10, 20, 30 years, those questions will become less important than other questions. I'm not sure what the other questions will be, but that certainly will be the case for folks. That my children and their friends are spending less energy talking about what women can do, what men can do, what about gay friends or lesbian friends, and they're just saying, let's be together and let's care for each other. And for them, it would see, if they're professing to be followers of Jesus, then that's what we can accept them as that. And I think in the life of our denomination in BC and Canadian and globally, the whole sexual conversations around sexuality and gender are going to be much more difficult. I know we've had a fair bit of conversation in BC and came to some resolutions a number of years ago. My sense is that those resolutions will continue to be tested, both nationally and provincially, as we have new people in leadership, as time goes by. And I'm not sure where all that will end. I'm hoping that it won't end in a major schism in our denomination. My hope is that the Spirit will continue to move us and allow us to find ways to disagree around some of these issues in a way that is Christian, is churchly, is of Christ. One of the models of our denomination, originally the General Conference, the reason we were called General is because we brought together all these churches that were not affiliated or had been moved out of relationship with other places, other denominations. Over the years, we were a place that harbored sort of dissident congregations. And we said we wanted the tent to be large enough so that we could agree on the essentials, so we did name those, but we could disagree on the non-essentials. And I think that's a heritage that we need to continue to keep, whether it's in gender, whether it's roles of men and women, whether it's women in leadership, what all those things are. Can we find a way to allow the tent to be large enough that provides those ways for faithful, Spirit-filled Christians to come to different places on that question? It's been so within our denomination, it's been a good thing to have more women in leadership. And I remember being at a leadership meeting from a variety of Mennonite denominations, Evangelical Mennonite and Mennonite Brethren. So the whole spectrum, from very conservative to Mennonite church. And so we all talked about the issues that we had. So it's all leaders of the denominations. And MC Canada, our folks were talking about the gay and lesbian question. And then it went down to the sort of the middle ground. The EMC folks were talking about some of their congregations were now allowing women to come to congregational meetings and make decisions, and all the way to whether you could actually have women doing anything in the church. And all the responses, all the issues that they were talking about were all the same. Like, how do you read the Bible together when you disagree? Whether it was on one end of the spectrum or on the other, it was just, so how do you get together when you don't agree with each other on how you read the scriptures? So this gender issue will divide us, but I think we can find ways through the Spirit to allow us to find a new way to break through. And those who are coming after us will just find another issue that will divide us, but we'll leave it to them to take care of that.